So can you tell us, our viewership, what is neuropsychology in general?
Sure. So, in the most general, if you look up a definition, it's going to say the study and application of brain behavior relationships, um, which basically just means the overlap between what is neurologically or what's biologically going on inside your head, inside your skull, also, but in your brain, um, and how that relates to our behavior, what we do. So usually with neuropsychology, we're a little more focused on cognitive aspects of that, but also emotional aspects and other things. But our being that our brain can be the driver of our memory ability, focus, concentration, a lot of these cognitive abilities, basically
Hmm.
everything we do, decisions we make, how we think, being driven by the brain. So it's really the study of everything in the world, but particularly how our brain affects these measurable psychological things like focus and
Hmm.
concentration, especially things like that.
In general, what would you
Yeah,
say a neuropsychologist does? Like, what would be the expectation for a neuropsychologist to be involved in a person's life?
sure. The beautiful thing about it is that can be pretty broad. There's a lot of different applications for neuropsychology, which is beautiful. Probably a lot of people here are interested in psychology because it's so broad. You can do so many things as a psychologist. As a neuropsychologist, there's a lot. So typically, you might be in research, and then you're not going to apply things directly so often with a client, for example. But what I'm guessing we're going to talk more about today is the clinical side of things. Clinical neuropsychologists typically more involved in assessment of cognitive abilities, with the departure point being the brain. So not just saying, is memory good, is this good, what are your abilities like, but let's make some inferences about someone's brain function from that, right? You have these abilities, therefore I think the stroke in this area of your brain is the cause, etc., right?
Right. So you talked about a couple of areas that you would look at. So you mentioned like memory or attention, some of those cognitive functions. What would you say are the general cognitive functions that neuropsychologists are looking at?
Mm. Again, it can be broad, but some of the main ones that, the indispensable big one, if we have a big 5 in personality, we have maybe a big 6 in neuropsychology of memory,
Hmm.
attention / concentration,
Right.
executive functions, language and visual spatial abilities. I think processing speed's another one that kind of gets lumped into attention, but it's not necessarily that. So I'd call that the secret 6th. But motor functions, social cognition, validity testing is involved a lot. So there's a lot of other areas, but those are the big 6, the ones you probably heard of.